Claes Oldenburg is a Swedish pop artist known for his giant soft sculptures. Many of these sculptures are common items of American culture. These objects are huge. He takes pieces of fabric and sews them together and then stuffs them with rags and other materials. Today we are going to create our own sculpture using some materials that we will find around our house. Let's get going on our stuffed pizza. I have a bunch of different colors of construction paper and a brown paper bag. This is the bottom of our bag, and here is the opening. What you want to do first is we're going to cut out a triangle. So in order to help me, I know that I'm going to start at the bottom of the bag. Well, this is the top at the bottom of the bag. From the corner, I'll come to the middle point at the open part, okay? Gonna draw a couple diagonal lines. Let's just review this. This is the bottom of the bag. Here are the corners. This is the opening, and we've come down to the middle. Now we can go ahead and cut this out. If you cut it out and find that you have two pieces, it's because you cut the opening here. So you'll just have to glue that together. All right, now there's our pizza. Now we're gonna make the crust first. What we're going to do is take the end here and kind of fold it or roll it to make it a little three-dimensional. Grab your glue and we'll put some glue along there. Now this is going to take a little while to hold, or if you're not patient, you can secure it with a couple clothespins. Or these are not clothespins, these are paper clips, just to hold it in place. All right, now you get to think about what kind of toppings do you want on your pizza? Do you want cheese on your pizza? I have some yellow. I can cut some strips here to make some cheese. I have some paper here, and I can make some pepperonis. Now I want a few pepperonis, so I can go ahead and fold this in half a couple times so I don't have to keep cutting circles out when I do this. And if you need to trace your circle, you can do that. I have a bunch of pepperonis, but sometimes I even like tomatoes, so maybe I want a couple tomatoes. So I can go ahead and cut a half circle. Now I want to put my details and texture on. I'll do that in a minute when I'm done cutting out. I have a couple black olives here. So if you have black paper, I'm going to go ahead and, whoops, fold it. You can cut out a little circle. Now, you can have a full black olive, and you could even cut this part out to make it look like it's been pitted. Or you can do a sliced black olive, and I folded that in half. I'm going to just cut the opening out there. Like that. Green peppers, you can go ahead, cut a nice big strip of green, and then we can fold this and turn it into a green pepper. You might have to curl that, make it go the right way. to bring those ends together and glue it. You have your green pepper. It's a big one. Oops, it stuck to my finger. What else? Oh my gosh, pineapple. I love pineapple. So I can get a few pieces of pineapple. Cut like a triangular shape. When you're done getting all your supplies, we can get our crayons out and start doing some texture on these, some details. How about sausage? Sausage is kind of bumpy and roundish, so I'm going to do some kind of scallopy edges. Oh, and then I love fresh mozzarella. So I get my white paper. And the fresh mozzarella sometimes comes in a log form shape or a ball, and then they slice it and put it on your pizza. I think I'm gonna get some sauce real quick. So I want to have some red sauce, so I want this to kind of fit. So I'm gonna lay this on my paper and trace it so I know how big to make the sauce. I'm going to cut it slightly smaller. All right, now let's talk about the text and the details. Ooh, I forgot one more thing. I forgot onions. So if you want to do an onion, you can go ahead, cut a circle. And then I'm going to cut a hole in that circle. Made a slit. Now I'm going to bring my scissors in there. Sometimes they're dice, sometimes they're rings like this, but sometimes they're even cut in half, like that. You can choose what you want. Let's start with that onion. So I love the red onion, so I'll put a little bit of red onion coloring with my crayons. My pepperonis, they have those little spots on the inside that are different colors, so maybe I get a couple. Even if I want to do some outlining. So I can do that with the pepperoni. Here's my pineapple. The pineapple has these fibers that go this way, a little vertically like that. Okay, I think I'm good. Now when I'm ready, oh, my tomatoes, I forgot about those. Tomatoes have this little seeds in there. All right, when you're ready, go ahead and move all your toppings to the side and we'll build our pizza. We have this. We're gonna go ahead and check our sauce. Did I cut it right? Looks like if I can tuck it under there, that will work. You're using a glue bottle. The glue tip touches the paper like you're drawing a line. You could dot or you could draw a thin line. You don't need a whole lot of glue or else it makes a big mess. And you can put, I'm gonna put my mozzarella down. Put one here. This one I'm gonna have going off the pizza, and I'm gonna trim that in a minute. It's exciting when stuff goes off the page. You can take your scissors and there's another one stuck there. Maybe I'll get some of my cheese if I want to go ahead and crumple up the cheese. Make sure you put glue where it's going to touch the paper. Now, if I wanted to put my tomato down, it's going to be hard to notice with my red already, so I'm probably going to need to put something else underneath it to make it show up, or I can choose not to put it on at all. You're going to have to make that decision, but we certainly can't forget my pineapple. Get some sausages in there. I like how I've done a little bit of overlapping. There's my red onion. My pepper, I might need to trim this and use a couple pieces like that. So I'll put it right on that edge. Once you've filled it up with all your stuff, go ahead and trim whatever is going off your pizza. You might need to let it dry a little bit. All right, I'm gonna let that set up for a bit and then we'll show you the last step. All right, now that this is set up a little bit, we're gonna stuff it to make it a little bit more three-dimensional. So we're going to put just a few things in the middle here, and then we can staple or glue the edges. Now I've just got some scrap paper here that I can crumple up. We don't need much, just to give it a little bit of dimension. And then you can decide, do you want to staple or glue? If you're gluing, you might have to hold things into place. Just be like you're stitching along the sides, just like Oldenburg did his soft sculptures. Oh, I lost my green pepper. I think I just tucked it in there. We'll put it on when we're done. Final trim there. And I'm going to stick this green pepper back on because it needs some color. And that wraps up our stuffed pizza sculpture in the style of Claes Oldenburg.